first things first, very first things, basic rules of firearm safety. There's a lot of them out there. The one that I try to teach people in one form or another is Jeff Cooper's Rules of Firearm Safety. You can Google it. Jeff Cooper is a very recognized firearms expert. He is now deceased, but for many years he was a recognized leader in the field. He came up with 4 rules which really encapsulate everything about firearm safety to me. Number 1, all guns are always loaded at all times. Okay? If I pick up this firearm, I'm going to assume it's loaded. Especially if it's closed and I can't tell if it's loaded or not, I'm always going to assume it's loaded. Notice when I picked it up, keep it pointed down range. Never at any time do I point it at myself or anything I'm not willing to destroy. Now we can unload this weapon, we can make sure that it's unloaded, and at that point, temporarily it's unloaded, but as soon as it leaves our custody, we set it down, turn our back, the gun is instantly reloaded as far as we're concerned. That's rule number 1. Number 2, never let your muzzle cover anything you're not willing to destroy. Once again, when I pick up this weapon, I'm going to make sure it's always pointed in a safe direction. This applies here at the range, it applies at home. When I go to put this weapon away, I'm going to make sure I'm not pointing it towards anything that I don't want to shoot. Okay? Keep your finger off the trigger till your sights are on the target. When we get into shooting a little bit later, you're going to notice that I do this. They usually say keep your finger on the button, okay? And the button, long story, but basically it's right here. On some pistols there is actually a button you can put your finger on. On this one there's not, but you're going to keep it extended straight until you're ready to engage the target. When you're ready to engage your target, at that point you put your finger onto the trigger. Rule number 4, identify your target and what's behind it. It's pretty easy for us because we're shooting on a shooting range. I basically know that out there we have a dirt berm. For me, what this means is I'm going to keep my shots within a level that it's going to strike that berm. It's not going to hit the ground and ricochet over the berm, and it's not going to go over the berm because I'm aiming too high. Now your local range may have some additional rules. This one does. For example, I'm on the 22 range. I'm only allowed to fire 22 caliber pistols or rifles on this range. There may be other rules as well, so I suggest you check those out before you start shooting off some rounds at your local range. Also understand the rules and laws of your state and of your municipality. Some are more restrictive than others, and I cannot advise you there. Basically, you need to do some research before you purchase a firearm, and definitely before you try to shoot a firearm. Finally, eye and ear protection. I wear glasses, so I've got that taken care of. I like the little foamies, and when you see me actually shooting, I'll be wearing these foamies in my ears to protect my ears. Guns aren't very loud, even 22 pistols like what we're shooting today. Or you can use the over-the-ear model, or you can use both if you like, especially if you're shooting very loud rifles or high-caliber pistols.